We saw for the first time ever, the S&P 500 has closed above the $5,000 mark. It's nearly doubled since the pandemic lows of 2020. In this video, Jim Cramer lists his top 10 stocks that have pumped this past week. Both well-known and lesser-known stocks that have substantially gained over 10% since Tuesday's market close. In the video, he's going to talk about Regeneron, QQQ, Ralph Lauren, NVIDIA, and other companies like Quinn Street Insurance, Sonos, Walt Disney, cybersecurity firms, home improvement firms. Cramer advises investors to take profits even if they result in taxes, as the gains would still outperform having cash on the sideline. He believes these stocks contribute to market reaching new highs as they offer investors a 10% solution for passive risk-free gains.
Than you make by parking your cash in certificates of deposit, which on days like today or in the last, actually the whole year, feels like a velvet prison for your money. You can get 5% risk-free for doing nothing. All right, I'm not going to denigrate that. Hey, but how about this? ARM Holdings this morning rallied nearly 48% in the wake of a tremendous quarter, one we actually totally saw coming. ARM semiconductor designs can be found in pretty much every kind of device, especially smartphones, and they've got a great partnership with, yes, NVIDIA. Today, the stock soared like it caught a takeover bid because the quarter was just so good, not to mention because the darn thing was way too cheap going into what we call the print. This company's at the nexus of smart cars and Internet of Things, most sophisticated cell phones, the data center, generative AI. More on that later in the show when we take a deep dive into ARM's quarter and explain to you what to do if you owned it after today's move. You might think ARM's extremely rare. Extreme, it was a one-off kind of thing. And it is extraordinary. But you know what? There happens to be another characteristic to this market that doesn't get enough airtime. I'm going to change that right now. The almost instant percentage gains you can get every day from companies. I'm not just talking about the huge winners like Eli Lilly or Amazon. These days, there are so many solid gains. I don't know, let's say 10% or more created daily around here. It's pretty astounding in itself. I ran a screen of the S&P 1500 to see how many stocks have given you a big gain, 10% gain, just since Tuesday's close. You know, I've got 28 names. Why does this matter? Because even if you take profits on that 10% gain and pay the taxes, you're going to beat what you'd be earning from an entire year of leaving your cash on the so-called fantastic sidelines. I do not want to denigrate anything that can give you a sizable risk-free return, which is what you're getting. But can we at least admit that you might be missing out on some huge gains if you just steer clear of the stock market? Let's go over some of them, okay? Some of the notable gains from this small sample. So you can see how broad the rally really is, despite what you may hear in the press, the chattering heads, whatever. First, you have this Regenxbio, which is a drug company which revealed that it might have something against Duchenne muscular dystrophy. That's a terrible disease, very rare, meaning they can charge very high prices for any treatment. That stock folded nearly 25% over 2 days in response to the news. Second, 20% gain, XPO. A trucker of all things. It's been able to expand, taking advantage of the bankruptcy of a competitor, Yellow, and has a terrific increase in cargo per truck year over year. The trigger leading to the monster move, a much better than expected quarter. Then Cirrus Logic, up 19%. Now, Cirrus Logic is responsible for the sound in your iPhone, okay, right here. And much to the chagrin of the Apple bears, these guys reported an astounding quarter thanks to Apple cell phone orders. Next, Alpha I didn't know, Advanced Drainage Systems. It's up nearly 18%. Infrastructure play, and there's so much infrastructure activity in this country right now that you'll have a hard time not making money in the sector. After that, get this, it's Ralph Lauren, the classic apparel play, which rallied nearly 17% today on an awesome quarter, with great sales including lots of business in China. That's a stupendous gain, one that we've been saying should have happened after the last quarter. That was a great one, but it happened. Then there's an outfit called Monolithic Power. That'd be looking things up in Google, and that's a gain of 16%. Chip company involved in artificial intelligence, and it reported a wildly strong quarter. I want you to consider to be riding the coattails of NVIDIA, ARM, and Broadcom. Next is old fave Enphase Energy, a solar power company that called the bottom on solar sales over this week, causing the stock to rally 16%, taking up SolarEdge and Generac along with it. After that, Silicon Labs, Slab, we used to call it, a nuts and bolts semiconductor company, jumped 16%. Want to shoot the lights out quarter? Next biggest winner, Outfit. Didn't know? Quinn Street Insurance marketing specialist jumped 14.5% in a spectacular quarter. And rounding it all out is Sonos, up 10.5%, makes sophisticated sound systems for your home, and it's part of a large cohort of home improvement stocks that are working. And here I'm thinking about companies like Trex that just reported a good quarter. By the way, AZEK did the other day, Masco, the cabinet specialist. Hey, doesn't he say that we should be buying stock of Home Depot? Now, if all those are too obscure, how about this? Let's talk larger names. Walt Disney jumped 11.5% today on a terrific turnaround quarter, fueled by the dividend boost, $3 billion buyback, excellent cost cutting. We want this company to keep delivering like that for the Chapel Trust after years of underperformance that have really hurt me. Wynn Resorts, another Chapel Trust name, vaulted 6.3% today alone as its return to hyper-growth move in both Vegas and in Macau is finally happening. Numbers were so amazing that we added to our position for the Chapel Trust, telling club members in the morning meeting that Wynn's business is much better now at this point than it was substantially higher a few years ago. Another club name, Palo Alto Networks, rallied again, up 7.5% since last Tuesday. And, this long-term holding jumps every time any other company in the cybersecurity cohort moves up. This time it was Fortinet, not a great company. What does this list tell you about this market? It's simple. We didn't get to these new highs just through the mega caps. We got here through moves like the ones we just talked about since last Tuesday. All this might be happening because the market remains a scorned animal, a lowly skunk in a 5% CD block party. All I ask is that at least you consider participating in stocks. Bottom line, there's just too much money being made in excess of what you can get from CDs, even after taxes. And stocks like these are the 10% solution to those passive risk-free gains. Except those rallies happened overnight. The risk-free 5% takes an entire year with zero possibilities of any additional upside. Let's take calls. Let's go to Tony in Florida. Tony.
Hey, Jim, I just want to give your team a booyah. I know we keep on saying it, but you do have one of the best teams there.
The team is great. What I often do, I was with the guys last night. A whole bunch of us go out for our birthdays. And I was just saying, the team makes it so I can keep working. The team. So thank you for recognizing that. Let's go.
Especially. Yeah, this stock, I have some with Eli Lilly, but I wanted another healthcare stock to go with it. And basically, it kept me and my wife out of the hospital because we did get COVID once. And it's so low, and I saw the interview you had with him. And if he's going to try and beat cancer, what do you think about me starting a position in Pfizer?
Okay, Pfizer's really interesting. You get paid 6% to wait to see how good Seagen is. And Seagen's got some near miraculous possibilities for some of the worst cancers in the world. So I am with Dr. Borla. I'll take the 6% and see what Seagen gets me. All right, there's just too much money being made in excess of what you can get from CDs, and stocks like these are the solution, frankly, to just getting the passive risk-free gains that have no more upside other than what you buy from the beginning. On Money Tonight, GE Healthcare had a healthy profit forecast for 2024, which has piqued my interest, and I'm hearing more about what's working for the Chapel Trust name. Let's sit down with the CEO. Then that big moving arm that I mentioned, that was a thing of beauty, wasn't it? But does the long-term opportunity remain after today's huge jump higher? I'll give you my take. And then Vertex Pharmaceuticals. Talk about Pfizer. How about Vertex? It fell after earnings earlier this week. So are investors getting a buying opportunity in the biotech name, which has been the case every time it's fallen? I'm going to sit down with the CEO and get the latest. So stay with Cramer.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on X. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadMentions. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.